You've heard that phrase, the middle of nowhere. That's where we are on this week's show. We are about as far away from anything as you can possibly imagine, at a very remote location, as far south in Louisiana as you can go, at what may be the best red fishing hotspot in the entire Gulf Coast region. I'm really glad you're along with us for this week's show. There's going to be a lot of hard fighting action this week. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Many of the destinations we take you to here on Fox Sports Outdoors are resort areas with lots of fun activities for the family to participate in other than fishing. Well, today is not one of those days, because just over my right shoulder you see fishing boats of all kinds. This is Venice Harbor. It is ground zero for some of the most hardcore fishing that the entire South has to offer. I'd like to welcome you in to Venice, Louisiana. It is right on the Mississippi Delta, the place where the Mississippi River runs into the Gulf of Mexico. There is all kinds of fishing that goes on around here, both offshore, nearshore, and inshore. Today we're going to concentrate on some nearshore fishing for big redfish, and we're going to be joined on the boat by Captain Mike Frenette. He knows every nook and cranny of this entire system, and he's going to take us out and put us on some fish. While we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters for the local reports for your area this week. So right now we're going to get out in the Gulf. We're going to start on some nearshore sandbar reefs, and then we may move to some jetties along the edge of the Mississippi River. We'll see what the weather lets us do. It's nice right now, so let's get things started first back at the FSN studios with your weekend planner.
The Salooner tables are predicting fair fishing conditions for both days this weekend. Peak hours are forecast to take place before sunrise in the mornings and again in the afternoons, beginning at 4:23 on Saturday and 5:16 on Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 7:07 and set at 7:41. And evenings will feature a moon that is 86% visible. Hang with us for freshwater and coastal information from around the region. Plus, crappie expert Wally Marshall joins me for this week's Ask the Pro question. We're coming right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Motor Guide, because accuracy matters. Lowrance Electronics, celebrating 60 years of fish finding excellence. Find, navigate, dominate. And Excite Technologies, powering the world forward.
There's pretty nice Louisiana redfish warrior right there, Captain Mike. Thank you very much for putting me on that one. Got him, fish on.
I got one too, Barry.
Got doubles. All right. We're up.
Mine's charging me. Mine's off.
He's off. This one's not. I got a fish on right here. Feels like a big old fish of some kind. Well, as you can see, we're out in the Gulf, up on a sandbar of all things. And we're only in about 5 or 6 feet of water, but the cool thing is we're near very deep water. Right out there, about 3 miles, are the rigs where they catch all the red snapper and cobia and amberjack and all those offshore species. That's a good red. Okay, here he comes. In he goes, in he goes. Got him. All right, come this way with him. All right, we got a good red right there. How about that? There we go. There's a nice one. Pretty nice Louisiana redfish warrior right there, Captain Mike. Thank you very much for putting me on that one. All right, I'm going to release it right quick. I'm not going to take much time with it because I want to ask you a couple of questions. Okay, he's gone. So we're out here on a sandbar, and why are these redfish out here? We're not anywhere near the marsh where I'm used to seeing and catching redfish.
Well, right now the river stage is very high. Okay, so that's really the main important factor. It's got the fish pushed out, and all along the delta, depending on from year to year, Sandbars will form in areas that they weren't last year. They'll disappear from areas that they were last year. And so wherever you can find the sandbars, and some of them might only be a block out from the passes, but it's where they like to hang out right now, especially when the river's high.
Well, we're using just regular light tackle for this, what I would call bass tackle. It's actually an inshore rod and reel, but we don't have the heavy gear. And we're using braided line, and we're throwing lipless rattling crankbaits, which I've never done for redfish. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We got one in the boat, and we're still out here. We're able to fish this. Now the wind may get up a little bit today, and if it does, we'll have to run back and hide behind some of the rock ledges and behind the jetties along the Mississippi River. But for right now, we're able to hang in here. So let's see what we can do. We're going to get re-rigged, see if we can get another redfish. You get fishing reports from your local backyard.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Louisiana Fishing Report. I tell you what a difference a week makes. I tell you what, friends, I was actually on an island in Moss Bluff, Louisiana. My house was surrounded by water 2 feet from getting into the house. Highest it's been in over 40 years. Our subdivision, like I said, was on an island. We couldn't get in, couldn't get out. Our lodge was closed for like 10 days because most of our guys was in Houston area helping rescue the folks. Finally, things settled down a little bit, and guess what? Beautiful sunshine days. Hey, north wind blowing, the beach was pretty. They're catching speckled trout on the beach right now. Water's not that pretty, but they're catching good speckled trout, big ones. Got live bait at Spicer's Marina. That's a good sign. I tell you what, we had a couple of boats in the lake. Said the water wasn't all that pretty, but they found some good trout, and they were catching some nice ones. Tell you what, fish is going to pick up each and every week, depending on Irma. We got to watch Irma and see what she does. But if she doesn't come this way, doesn't mess up anything, I tell you what, our fishing is going to be fantastic. One thing you don't want to do right now, go bass fishing on either the river, Sabine River, Calcasieu River, the Red River. Those things are still messed up. They're going to be for a while. If I went bass fishing, I'd go to the Lita Bend or one of those like Lake Darbone. Those would be pretty good to go to. Things are looking up, friends. Don't give up.
There we go.
You got it?
Yep.
Fish on. Got it. Still on there? Yeah.
Yep.
Get him up close?
Yeah. Here he comes, Barry. Here he comes in the net. There we go. Oh,
And
look at the hooks.
he came off at
Look at
just
the
the
hooks.
right time.
Look at the hooks just came out.
There we go. That's what you catch when you come to Venice, Louisiana. Way to go, Mike. Come on, come on over here. I'll tell you what we're
How
about
about
to
that,
do.
huh?
Yeah. So why do people come all the distance they come to fish? I know it's him, but there's actually choices, right?
Well, it's actually choices. I mean, you can fish redfish, trout, flounder. You can go offshore and catch marlin, tuna, wahoo, bull dolphin, swordfish. There's no other place like Venice, Louisiana when it comes to the United States.
Wow. So really, one of your hardest choices every morning is which thing you're going to go do.
But everybody loves the redfish.
Absolutely.
Light tackle doesn't get any better.
This is what makes Venice famous. Let's slide right over here and lay him back in the water real quickly. That's going to be a good red right there. I can tell by the way. Oh, I just had a bite. Got
Bam!
doubles. You called it.
Look at that.
All right.
Oh, there he is.
You got one?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to throw back in there behind you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Get out there.
Didn't you say that most of the time if you get one, you're going to get another one?
That's right. I mean, they're going in schools, that's for sure.
That's going to be a good red right there. I can tell by the way. Oh, I just had a bite. Got
Bam!
doubles. You called it.
Look at that.
All right. We are still out on this big sandbar, on this big reef at Venice, Louisiana. I've been here several times, but I've never been out here. We're what, a couple of miles outside the mouth of the Mississippi River.
Yeah, we're about a mile.
These fish are just running up and down this reef. What are they eating out here, Mike?
They really like mullet. They got rain minnows out here and occasional crabs swimming across the top, but pretty much whatever comes across them, they're in trouble. That's an eating machine.
Now, is this a real tidal deal too? Is that they're going to feed a lot heavier when the tide's running
Yes.
harder?
But the good thing about it is, with the river being up high, is we always have river current. So on days when the tides are slack, it's to our advantage.
Look at these two reds.
Oh, this one here is nice. That's just big enough off.
I'll see if I can net both of them.
Why don't you get mine and I'll get yours?
Okay, we got
There.
that one. Got
We'll do
one.
teamwork.
Okay, now here comes mine.
There we go, double.
Got both of them. Oh, baby, we got double redfish. Here, let's get them up here. We'll show them real quick. 1, 2, 3, up.
That's a net full right there, boys.
Oh, there we go. 2 big old reds.
Oh, these pigs, huh?
Oh, man. Come take a step back here so we can get the whole things in there. Look at this. 2 big, step back as far as you can go. There we go. There we go. 2 big old redfish.
Woo!
Doubles. And you called it, brother. You said if somebody gets one,
There's gonna be 2.
more. And they just run in these packs, right?
There's little herds of them running around out here.
How many do you think are in a pack?
Gosh, Barry, I've seen it when they come to the surface where there might be 50, there might be 500, there might be 2,000.
Oh, you're kidding, that
it's-
many.
The whole area could just light up with orange.
Unbelievable. Well, we're going to give you Captain Mike's information if you want to book a trip here and come do this, but this is a blast. Let's let these 2 fish go back.
Let's let these girls go, huh?
Oh, this one's ready already.
Line. Grab it by the tail a little bit here. All right, sweetheart. Get a little rest.
2 big reds and 1, 2, 3, and away they go.
Let's go.
All right, we're kicking them now. I tell you, this is so much fun on light tackle. This is really something else. You can use deep sea gear out here and just horse them in, but you get this medium tackle like we're using, and you can have yourself a big blast. We're gonna get cleaned up here. We're killing today out of Venice, Louisiana, just out in the Gulf of Mexico, just inside the rigs where all the deep sea fish live, catching great big redfish. Let's get you fishing and lake reports for this week from your own local area.
Man, we're entering September after an amazing August of fishing here in Oklahoma. The crappie are continuing to bite in many places across the state, as seen here in this recent trip to Call Lake. Now, I jumped in the back of the boat with Kevin DeLong and Leon Mears, 2 really good crappie fishermen from northeastern Oklahoma who fish a lot of the lakes in this region. They like Call Lake a lot, and I can see why. The guys were targeting brush piles, 8 to 12 foot of water, many places throughout the lake. Best technique was casting and reeling or dragging those baits in and around that cover close to the bottom. They like that bait moving, and they caught not just good quality of fish, but good numbers of fish. Now, the best bait on this particular outing for the better fish was the Bobby Garland 3-inch slab slayer. Fished on a single jig, 1/8 ounce head, and like I said, as close to that cover as possible to get those fish to bite. Best colors was the bluegrass and Cajun cricket, and then new colors, green banana and ugly duckling in the 3-inch slab slayer. And of course, this time of year when you're fishing in and around cover, you're going to pick up some of those blue cats and flatheads, which Kevin did, and also some of the really big white bass we have here in the state, like you see Leon catching here. Hey, I also want to remind you guys that we haven't lost perspective of what's been happening down along the Texas Gulf Coast and all the devastation there. Our hearts ache for you. Our thoughts and prayers continue. Godspeed in the recovery.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than a boat, it's a tracker. Mercury Marine, go boldly. And Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there.
Beautiful. Look at that sun reflecting off that gorgeous orange. I got him. I got him, buddy. Right off the end of those rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Good pull. Don't you go in those rocks. Don't you go up in those rocks.
He'll just fool you. He'll just sneak up in there, but he's going to back out.
Yep, he's coming back out now. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Venice, Louisiana today. Captain Mike Frenette, red fishing at the mouth of the Mississippi River, right at the Delta. Here he comes. Let's catch him right here.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeah,
Got him.
Got him.
All right.
I got him.
You can see there he's got my lipless rattlebait right there. First time I've ever caught him on a lipless rattlebait. Caught hundreds and hundreds of redfish in my life, but not on that bait. Got him loose. There he comes up. Beautiful. Look at that sun reflecting off that gorgeous orange. This is what Venice is famous for. Big old redfish like this one. Back he goes. Away he goes. You can see right here that I accidentally foul hooked the little croaker, but I want to show you the size. Look at the exact size of that croaker and the lipless crankbait that I'm throwing. That's why they're eating it so good. It looks exactly like one of these little croaker, and that's what they're feeding on. Time for more fishing and lake reports. For you from Venice, Louisiana.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you once again by the Brecklin Ranch. Now whether it's for an individual, a family gathering, or a corporate outing, Brecklin Ranch can tailor your hunt to your needs. They have plenty of first-class lodging and they'll treat you like family, so check out the folks at Brecklin Ranch. Now before we get started with lakes this week, I'd like to send out our thoughts, prayers, and best wishes to everyone in Texas affected by Hurricane Harvey. There's been a lot of damage and devastation, and we wish you all the best in your recovery. Now, having said that, we're here at Lake Pat Cleburne this week, just outside the town of Cleburne, Texas, where you'll find great bass and crappie fishing. The bass are shallow in the flooded bushes, trees, and vegetation. You'll want to flip for those fish using either your Texas rigs with a tungsten weight, a glass bead, and a soft plastic in either black, blue, watermelon red, or another dark color. Now the crappie fishing here is in the mouths of the creeks and off the points on man-made brush piles. So grab up a handful and then go back and drop your minnows or your crappie jigs over the top of that brush for your Pat Cleburne crappie. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Brecklin Ranch. Be sure and check out Lone Star Lakes on Facebook to see where we go and what we're doing when we're not giving you the Lone Star Lakes update. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, it has started. Fall is finally showing itself. Based on the forecast, daytime air temperatures are beginning to fall. Same for nighttime temperatures, plus daylight hours are continuing to shorten. All this means is the transition to fall is underway. Look for the surf to continue to produce solid specs from Sabine to Port Aransas. Marsh drains and flats will start to see increased redfish and flounder activity. From the land cut and mouth of Baffin Bay northward to Peta Island, look for schooling redfish with trout around rocks, shorelines, and channel drops. Port Mansfield is seeing increased trout and redfish action on the flats and shorelines. On the lower Laguna Madre, the causeways continue to produce specks of mangrove snapper on live bait. Mexicata Flats has scattered reds hitting topwaters, plastics, and cut bait. Now remember, red snapper in state waters out to 9 nautical miles has reopened. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday at 5:30, or catch the repeat airing Saturday morning at 8. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button. And see lots of our how-to and product videos by selecting the how-to button. Join our online fishing community. Just click the like button on our Facebook page for access to daily posts with lots of fishing news, videos, and frequent giveaways. And stay up to date with all the latest fishing information and photos by following our Twitter feed. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Luz, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Jean LaRue Bass Baits and Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leaders in soft plastic lures innovation. And Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro segment, where viewers get expert answers from fishing's top anglers. This week's question comes from Alan, who asks, Can you give me a quick step-by-step guide on shooting docks for crappie? For the answer, we checked with expert crappie angler Wally Marshall.
What you do is you take your spinning reel and you're going to grab the line with your trigger finger, flip the bell over manually, okay? Then you're going to grab your lure and always have your lure between the first guide on the rod and the top of the reel, okay? And so you're going to pull down on the lure and you're going to load the rod up and you're going to let go of your trigger finger and the lure at the same time. Be sure to grab the lure with your thumb and index finger and keep all these fingers out of the way and keep the hook pointed up, okay? So shoot it under those docks in that dark shaded area, and when you feel that thump on the line, set the hook.
Thanks, Wally. If you have something to ask one of our experts, simply visit foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now it's time to give away a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
We are back at the marina, and it's time to announce this week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest. He is Isaac Schwartz of Okarche, Oklahoma, showing a 10-pound largemouth bass he caught at Lake Conawa in Oklahoma. And as an added bonus, here's another big one from the same lake. It's not the winner in the contest, but a great one nonetheless. It's Willie Vickman of Oklahoma City with a 9-pound bass, also at Lake Conawa. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Costa Catch of the Week box on the right side of the homepage, and follow the instructions to send us your big fish photo. And if you'd like to see all of the great Costa frame and lens styles, just go back to the homepage of our website, click on the Costa logo. You can see all of the 580 polycarbonate and glass lenses in all the different colors, all of the different frame styles and colors, including the great frame that I was wearing on this week's episode. It's called Trevally. We mentioned several times while we were fighting the redfish that we were doing so on fairly light tackle. These are inshore rods made by Lew's specifically for this style of fishing. They will handle a big brute beast like those big reds, but it's a lot of sport on fairly light gear. This is a 7-foot Lew's Mach speed stick rod. It's the inshore model. It's a medium action rod. It'll do a great job on these reds, and I've got it paired up with the new Lew's Speed Spool Super Duty wide reel. It's got lots of line capacity so that you can spool it up with a bunch of line for when those fish make those big runs. I had 65-pound braided line on there, and I used a lipless rattling crankbait. I had no idea that redfish would eat this bait so well, but it's about a 1/2 ounce, or this may be a little bit bigger, 5/8 ounce size. Any color that resembles a shad or a mullet or a pogie will work just fine. My advice to you is to change the hooks out on them to some really strong hooks, because we had several hooks straightened today. After having raised 2 kids to adulthood, I can speak from experience in saying those school years, grades 1 through 12, can be very hectic. All the sports events, baseball, basketball, soccer, school events like Meet the Teacher and PTA, PTO, choir, band, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, all that stuff vies for your time. It is well worth whatever you have to do to be at every event your kid participates in. The one face when they look into that crowd that they're looking for is yours. No one can substitute for you, and it's a great foundation to build for a lifetime of good relationship with your kids. Make the sacrifice. Be involved in your kid's life all the way through school at every event. In closing, I'd like to give you the contact information one more time for Mike Frenette's Redfish Lodge of Louisiana. They can put you up in comfortable lodging, feed you great Cajun food, and send you out with one of their guides to catch the many species of fish that swim in this Gulf region. It would be well worth a trip for you. From Venice, Louisiana, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.